What's up everyone, my name is Mr. Duel. Welcome back to another video. In this video I just kind of want to give my advice to any starters who are just getting into Honkai. I've been playing the game for roughly 2 months now and just want to give just some of my insights on what I feel like you should probably focus on here. So the first thing is, again, when you first get into the game, it's going to teach you how to do everything. So the basics will be taught to you. They won't really teach you how to use the characters like to their max potential. So like really competitive, like really late game type of situations where you have to like switch between a bunch of characters and how to use specific characters. They'll kind of give you like the gist of it, but it doesn't really teach you how to do it properly. I still don't really know how to build a team properly. I haven't really looked into videos on how to do it myself or what are the best teams for certain situations. But once you're like starting out, that's not really anything you do have to worry about until a good maybe 75 or 80, I would say. I still don't really worry about it too much. But if you definitely want to do like higher scores on specific things, so like in Abyss or any of the later like stages in the game where it is pretty competitive, then I definitely would look into that. But in the beginning of the game, what you're gonna have is a lot of stamina. So try to use as much of the stamina as you can early in the game, so you can start regenning it, because it's just gonna keep stacking because how fast you're leveling up, early on. But once you get to the point where you're actually depleting all your stamina and you're just putting it into different places, I definitely would focus on all the starter events that give you dorm supplies, crystals, EXP. They're going to tell you to do missions and stuff like that. So this is definitely something I would focus on. And they will also give you rewards for characters, and they'll just help you out early in the game and give you some really fun characters to use and try out. So just remember to try to do this as much as you can. Try to log in. I feel like this is one of the easiest ones to get the dorm supplies. This is for the level up sprint. I feel like you're gonna have to play regularly to even get to level 65. So just keep that in mind. So if you're just starting the game, if you won't be able to take like a 2-week break and then think you're gonna get to 65, I don't think that would be possible. So you would have to. I think you would have to play at least daily to get to this point within the 2 months. Also, this is the growth booster is also something that helps you level up a lot. There was a lot more of these. So try to do these as much as you can. So whenever you have extra stamina, whatever these tell you to do, just try to do these, because these will actually help level you up and get you a bunch of resources to either level up your character or even level up weapons for your characters. And also, whenever you have the chance, I would buy majority of everything in the beginner shop. They're pretty good. It's for leveling up your character and weapons, and like you'll get these elves later in the game. That's not something you should worry about too early in the game. You'll figure that out like on the way. So I'm not gonna really go over that. Whenever you unlock daily prep, this is something I would recommend doing. I would just do all 3 of these per day as well. They give you I think it's just level up material for your weapons, but I think you also get materials just for your level up materials for your characters. But I'm pretty sure it's mainly for the weapons. But this is definitely something to get. You only get 3 tries per day, so might as well just spend it on them. And yeah, so this is probably the main focus early. Just try to get all of these done. And again, if you need like help trying to figure out like which Valkyrie to pick from the egg and stuff like that, I would just go into Discord. They have like pinned comments there, and they have a good they let you know which is like the best Valkyries. If you're looking at it at a competitive standpoint, if you don't really care about a competitive standpoint, if you're just looking at, oh, this one looks cool, then by all means just get the character that you enjoy. That's probably more important anyways. And again, I just want to brief again, I don't really know too much about the late game competitive scene too well. I looked briefly into it, but I still don't really know how to build the characters too well. I don't know the big stigmatas and stuff like that, and I just kind of want to advise you that's not really something you should really focus on early in the game. Maybe late into the later stages, around 70, 75, 80, maybe start looking into a little bit more. I'm definitely going to start looking into more here in the future, but again, I'm not too worried about it. I do just all right in the Abyss. Not the best. I probably could do better if I was actually looking at like how to use certain characters together and stuff like that. But I'll get to that point here in the future, so I wouldn't stress about it if you're just getting into the game. Another thing not to stress about is the amount of items that you see here. Like you'll start getting bombarded with tons of items and stuff like that. Don't let it stress you out. I know I felt a little overwhelmed in the beginning because there was just so much, and when you have so much, you can't really grasp it all, and you kind of want to understand like what does everything do and stuff like that. But I wouldn't really worry about it. Just, you know, I gotta use this, but just learn it day by day. You eventually just start getting used to everything and slowly understanding. And if you really want to know, I would just ask in the Discord at that point. But most of these, eventually you'll understand what they're used for and stuff like that. Like, I don't know what the heck this is for. It can be used to upgrade divine keys. I've never upgraded divine keys yet. I never needed to upgrade one, so so here, and then there's going to be the supply, which is, you know, pretty standard. There's this dorm supply, which you get a lot of dorm keys in the beginning for, you know, being a starter, and then there's a few other ways to get some. I wouldn't recommend spending your crystals here. If you get dorm supplies, I would recommend it, but I definitely wouldn't recommend spending your crystals. You can if you want, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it, nor the equipment. For the starter supply, if it's to Herrscher Thunder, I definitely would recommend it. She's actually a really good character. At least she's my favorite character, so that's really the only reason I'm recommending it. It doesn't. If you like any of these characters, I would go for it. But that's really on you. I actually like, this is actually the character I got the game for, and I was really hyped that she was in the starter supply, so I just went for her and I managed to get her. So it was actually pretty sweet. And then of course the weapons. I'm not sure if this is considered a focus supply or a expansion supply. Maybe somebody in the, you know, could let me know in the comments. But if this was, I think this was considered a focus supply. And what's the difference between the focus and the expansion? The focus actually has higher rates for the weapon, or for the items that are being shown. So whatever the rate of weapons are, they're gonna have a higher chance of dropping. It's just there won't be a guaranteed drop, like a guarantee, like there just wouldn't be a guarantee. That's the best way to explain it. So you wouldn't see this here, like where it says guarantee and 62 drops. If it's a focus supply, you wouldn't see this. If it's an expansion, as it says right here, expansion supply, you would see a guarantee. And this has actually a lower rate of dropping, but you have a guarantee. So it's kind of like, I personally would go for the focus. I just like the higher risk with higher reward, more or less. But I feel like the focus is definitely the better way to go. Definitely early on. I've gotten a lot of good items on this focus, but again, it's all luck. You know, you may not get anything, you may get everything. Who knows? The elves, I wouldn't worry about that. And okay, supply. You know, don't worry about and that's really almost it. So, other than maybe, you know, checking your events daily, making sure that you're browsing through these and checking for the rewards. Yeah, it's literally been almost 2 months. Time goes by really quick. So, you know, make sure you're always checking your events to see if there's anything to do there. And then lastly, I would say is just, yeah, look for a sensei. This is easy to, this can be easy looked over if you're not careful, but if you go onto the Sensei tab, I think there's something else. I'm pretty sure if you go Sensei, there's going to be a list to apply, and then you just randomly apply to somebody, and hopefully they just put you as their student, and they may or may not help you, but it doesn't really matter, because really the main thing here is trying to get these examination trials early on, because you definitely want to do this early on, so you can actually just start getting dorm supplies, crystals, EXP. You actually get a ton, and so it's pretty good until like 55, 60, where it starts getting really hard to level up. Yeah, so if you could find a sensei, that'd be really good. And 2 more things is, you know, try to join Armada. When you find a sensei, it's going to tell you to join Armada. It's really good. You can do stim battles. You get like extra. It gives you extra items, like level up your characters or weapon items. You could like do commissions, and you get rewards for like submitting a certain amount of items. The more you submit, the better chance of getting a better item. There's you know, you get like I think this is weekly crystals and stuff like that. So it's pretty nice. You could just join a random one. You don't really need friends or anything. I don't know anybody, unfortunately, but just join one, and it shouldn't be too hard. And there was one last thing I wanted to talk about. What was it? All right, guys. Well, for some reason I can't remember the last thing I was actually going to talk about. But if it was really important, I'll probably just put it in the comments if I do, for some reason, do remember it. If you guys did enjoy the video, just remember to leave a like and subscribe. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks again for watching, everyone.